I know it. You guys know it. Roberto De Zerbi almost certainly knows it. The player himself knows it. The rest of the squad know it. The title of this video is Desperate Times Call for Desperate Measures. And before we address the elephant in the room, let's hear from the player that I'm talking about.
We probably haven't been good enough going forward this season. That's the reality. Just a bit of lack of quality in the final moments, and I think that showed tonight, and I think that's something that I can bring. So hopefully when I'm on the pitch and whatever minutes I can get, I've just got to try and help the team with that. Yeah. Or anyone who's worked in football or has been through this injury, it's not as easy to just drop back in. Obviously, it'd be catastrophic for my career if something was to happen, if we weren't safe or we didn't follow the protocol from the specialists. But we just got to give everything for this club, for the badge, for our fans. It's unacceptable and a little bit embarrassing that we're in this position at Tottenham Hotspur, but it's the reality, unfortunately.
We know as football fans, the two worst injuries you can get is an ACL or a snapped Achilles. They're long-term injuries. They take a long time to recover from. It's very difficult to get back to any sort of form immediately after those injuries. You need quite a long bedding-in period. But let me tell you, and going back to what I said at the start of the video, I think you guys know it. I certainly think it. James Maddison has to start against Everton on Sunday. Anyone that knows football, anyone that's watched Spurs over the course of this entire season, and especially in the last couple of games, can see that we are blunt. We have absolutely no attacking threat whatsoever. None from the strikers, hardly anything from the midfield. We're blunt. And James Maddison is the only player in our squad with any creativity, any guile, that killer pass, able to nick a goal himself. As we just heard from him there, he's under protocol from the specialists and we can only use him very sparingly. And in the last couple of games, Roberto De Zerbi has used him as a sub around the 65th, 70th minute mark. And I'm sure you guys will agree that as soon as he comes on, we look a much better team. He's just very good at keeping the ball, very good at starting moves. He drops into positions which makes him hard for the opposition to track him. He offers genuine creativity and a genuine goal threat. We almost saw a goal from him the other night against Chelsea, were it not for that incredible tackle by Hato. And so let me explain my logic behind the reason why I think Maddison needs to start, and then you guys can tell me in the comments whether you agree or disagree. So basically, as I say, we've used him as a substitute late on in the game. He can only manage 25, 30 minutes maximum. Now, the scenario we massively want to avoid on Sunday is West Ham going a goal up against Leeds while we're still sitting at 0-0 with Everton or losing, in the worst case scenario. The reason to start Maddison is this. We need him from the first whistle to get on the ball, create things, make things happen, create chances for our strikers, maybe nick a goal himself. We need to score 1, 2, as many goals as we can in that first half, build up a cushion, because it's like reverse psychology. So if we're sitting at 0-0, say we're sitting at 0-0, we start with the same team we've started at for the last couple of games, with Conor Gallagher sort of playing the number 10. We're going through the game, we get through the first half, it's 0-0. West Ham maybe nick a goal. As soon as that goal goes in over at the London Stadium, those alerts go to all those phones in the stadium. It goes round the stadium. Everyone shits themselves, transmits to the players on the pitch. You're playing the rest of the game on an absolute knife edge. But if you think about it, in reverse, Maddison starts. Maddison creates a chance for Richarlison in the first 7 minutes. He knocks it in. We're 1-0 up. The goal alerts go to those phones over in the London Stadium. They see that we're a goal up. They know that Everton need 2 goals for them to have any chance of survival. And the atmosphere over there changes. And it transmits to their players. And their heads drop. This final day is going to be absolutely horrific in terms of nerves. And there's no better way to settle the nerves than us getting an early goal or scoring in the first half or going in at half-time 2-0 up, for example. We heard from the man himself earlier, obviously. We know that he can't play, certainly not a full game. He can barely manage 45 minutes. But like I said, desperate times call for desperate measures. We need to do something a little bit different. We've had 2 chances in the last couple of games, the Leeds game and the Chelsea game. Because if you think about it, the way the results went, if we beat Leeds, we're already safe. If we get a draw with Chelsea or a win, we're already safe. And so this is what I think Roberto De Zerbi needs to do. Start Maddison. Conor Gallagher on the bench, the same team. Start Maddison in the number 10 role, okay? Play him for as long as he can play, whether we get 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I don't know the ins and outs of an ACL injury. I've never had one. I'm not a professional footballer, obviously. I'm not a physio. I'm not a doctor. But judging from Maddison's energy levels, the way he doesn't seem afraid to be taking players on for the physical aspects of the game, I think we can squeeze 45 minutes out of him. I think we can squeeze the first half out of him. If we can't, We play him for 30, 35 minutes. We let him do the damage. We let him create something. And then Conor Gallagher comes on. He can help to see the rest of the game out. Very quickly, guys, it would massively help my channel if you thought about liking, subscribing, dropping a comment, maybe doing all three. Thank you. Now, there is another subtle change that I think we should make. And again, desperate times call for desperate measures. Me personally, and people that have watched this channel regularly will know that I think square pegs in round holes is the scourge of football. Any team that tries to shoehorn players into positions where they're not comfortable, they're going to come unstuck, especially at the elite level in the Premier League. You saw examples of it over the years with Gareth Southgate's England. The team was never fully balanced. Probably cost us a tournament win. You saw it with Ruben Amorim up in Man United. You know, he was dedicated to this system. He was shoehorning players into positions they weren't comfortable playing, and you saw the results. Look at what Carrick's done. He's gone in there, he's put players in their natural positions where they feel comfortable, and they finished third in the league. Again, I've got to give De Zerbi credit for the way he's organised the team, the way he's improved us over the last few games, but there still is one glaring issue that we need to resolve, and that is Randall Kolo Muani playing out on the right-hand side. Now, there's square pegs in round holes. This guy's a fucking rectangle. He cannot play there. It's a position so alien to him. You can see it in his play. You can see it in all of his touches. You can see it that he doesn't have any quality when crossing the ball. His decision making is abysmal. He gave away the second goal against Chelsea because he didn't know where to put the ball. When he knocked it inside, they broke away and scored. He can't play that position. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody else. We don't have any other strikers, okay? We've got Richarlison, we've got Matisse Tell, we've got Kolo Muani. So my logic is this, and again, tell me if you guys agree. I think you probably do if you think about it, but, you know, let me put my case to you. So Matisse Tell, in my opinion, plays equally as well on the left or the right-hand side. He's a right-footed player, and actually I think his best deliveries and his best crosses into the box have come from the right-hand side in the last couple of games. At set pieces and at corners, he can still occupy that space where he scored the goal against Leeds from, so he can drift out to the left, stay on the edge of the area. If the ball drops to him, he can still be in that position because we know he can finish from there. But when the game's in open play, this is my proposal. Richarlison on the left. Now, I know he's not great out there, but if you think about it, it's a position he played for many years, for Watford, for Everton. He done okay out there. He nicks a go out there. You know you're going to get work rate from him. And in my humble opinion, as a centre forward, he's fucking hopeless. He doesn't have the touch. He doesn't have the guile to play with his back to goal. Look, he's a decent goal poacher, okay? He nicks 10 goals a season roughly. Not bad for a Premier League return. He's a half-decent striker. He's not the striker that can play with his back to goal, and his first touch is abysmal. Randall Kolo Muani, when he was coming through the ranks and when he was bought by PSG, and then when he went on loan to Juventus and he scored quite a few goals, plays as a centre forward. That's where he feels comfortable. And look, I don't think he's the best centre forward in the world, but, you know, just judging from the way he controls the ball, he's got pace, he's a bit unpredictable, you know, he's got kind of Bambi legs. He reminds me a bit of Yannick Bolasie. Do you remember that guy? Who was just like so unpredictable that he kind of do something with his feet and the ball would go in one direction, he'd smash it into the net, you know, for a couple of seasons. I think Kolo Muani, not necessarily with his back to goal, but, I mean, his touch can't be worse than Richarlison's. But if he's facing up a defender in that central area, I do think he's got the ability to beat him and hit a shot at goal. I don't think Richarlison has. Richarlison is a kind of fox in the box, a poacher, okay? So that front three, for me, needs to be Richarlison on the left, Kolo Muani through the centre, Matisse Tell on the right. That way, all three players playing in positions they're comfortable in playing, they feel natural there. I think we'll get a bit more out of them. Add to that, Maddison's creativity for the first 30 minutes, hopefully 45 minutes of the game. I think he can create a chance for Kolo or for Richarlison. They can knock it in. The nerves are settled, and I think we go on to survive comfortably. Obviously, we can't finish the video without talking about the threat that comes from Everton. And don't get me wrong, they're not Chelsea, okay? Like I mentioned earlier, they haven't got players anywhere near the calibre of Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Mark Cucurella, those guys. What they do have is a very good player, a very dangerous player in Iliman Ndiaye, okay? He plays off the left as a kind of floating number 10 that operates primarily from the left. João Palhinha's got a big role to play on Sunday. He's got to be the man responsible for not letting Ndiaye get that ball, dribble and drift inside like he likes to do, and hit shots at goal. I think Palhinha's got it in the bag to control him. Inevitably, Ndiaye will get a couple of opportunities. We've got to limit him as much as possible. Other than Ndiaye, they've got two strikers that, let's face it, technically are pretty shit. Tierno, Barry and Beto. But they're those kind of big lump strikers. They'll give you 100% work rate, and they're so kind of unpredictable that they might get on the end of the odd chance. They might score you a few goals. They're fairly dangerous. I personally think that our centre-back pairing of Van der Ven and Danzo are very well equipped to handle strikers like that. So they've got to be on their game. I don't think it's a huge threat, but we must be aware of it. Other than that, from what I can see, the only other threat they really possess is from set pieces. Michael Keane is dangerous from corners. He scored a couple of goals this season. James Tarkowski's good in the air. He's physical. He wins battles. He wins headers. Got to watch out for that. Again, we're pretty strong at defending the box from corners under De Zerbi. I'm not too worried about it, but it's something we need to be aware of. And finally, the David Moyes factor. You know, I mentioned this on my last video. I got a bit of stick in the comments, people saying that I was barking mad and that, you know, for the way that Moyes was kicked out of West Ham, he should be wearing a Spurs shirt on Sunday. I don't really agree with that. I still think that he'll have friends at the club. I still think he'll have some kind of affection for the club. And, well, put it this way. If you put it in front of him on the table and said, David, who would you rather get relegated out of Tottenham and West Ham? He's picking us all day long. So he's going to be motivated. And they've got an outside chance of qualifying for the Conference League as well. Brentford have to lose and they have to beat us by 4 or 5 goals. Probably not going to happen, but that's what they're going to be motivated by. Okay, so let's not take it lightly. Let's get behind the boys as ever. We can do this. We're nearly there. The last couple of games have been tough. Let's get ourselves over the line. We can look forward to a Premier League season next year. We can look forward to the World Cup. No stress. Let's do it and get it fucking over and done with because it's killing me. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.